Best Life 30, your 30-day journey to creating the best life possible for yourself. You can just watch this video, or if you want to sign up for the entire series for free and get the companion bonus worksheets that go with this video, check the link in the description below. All right, so today is day 22, and we're going to learn how you can generate more sales.
I'm going to give you Mark Cuban rule number 1. And whenever you forget this rule, you're already out of business. In every business, sales cures all. Has anybody ever heard of a business that had zero sales that was successful? Doesn't happen. Yet, a lot of people start their business thinking, I have a great idea. I'm going to do this. This is amazing. I'm going to go raise money. I just sold this idea. And then it comes back and it's like, okay, you got to sell that product, or you got to sell that service. That's the first and main key to a successful business. When you're getting ready to start, you have to answer that question.
And for like an entrepreneur, forget a salesperson, how about just an entrepreneur who's looking to start a business? Well, if you can't sell, if you can't influence, if you can't persuade, good luck trying to get your business off the ground. I'm not talking about just your customers. I'm talking about the bankers, the people with venture capitalists, your vendors, your credit card processor, the people who work for you. How do you get people to work for you excited? How do you get them excited? How do you get them to want to buy into your vision? At the highest level, what sales really is, it's the transference of emotion. And the emotion you're transferring is this emotion of certainty. That someone feels certain, yeah, it's a good thing, it's going to help me, it's going to fill my need. When you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to start a business and you're recruiting people, well, you're selling people on your vision for the future, your vision for this company. And if you can't do that, good luck trying to get great people to work for you. It's nearly impossible, which is why you always see, the people, if they say, oh, he's a visionary. Well, that's true, but typically not only are they visionaries, they also possess the ability to sell the vision to other people, to inspire them, to motivate them. So selling is not just like, people think of selling, oh, well, I'm not a salesman, I don't need to. Well, yes, you do. You need to learn how to influence. How about trying to get your kids to make their bed, or do their homework, or believe in the value of education? How about trying to get a landlord to give you a reduction on your rent, or to extend the lease the way you want? How about trying to negotiate terms? You understand, it cuts to everything. So I always look at this, when I say I cracked the code on influence, what I really did essentially was I was, by working backwards almost, by saying I'm going to start at the end and go to the beginning, say what has to happen before someone says yes. I was able to take that and put it into this system that took the no-name, talentless guys and turned them into millionaires.
I am very shy. Very, very shy. I came back from Vietnam and I could kill people, but I couldn't talk to people. And one day I said to when I decided to follow my rich dad's footsteps, I just said to him, I want to be an entrepreneur. He says, you got one problem. I said, what's that? I said, you're shy. I said, what's wrong with being shy? He says, you got to sell. You got to handle rejection. Number one skill. Can you handle rejection? Answer is no, I couldn't handle it. So I said, I still want to learn how to sell. So this was in 1973, I was 25 years old. And my rich dad said, how's your love life? I said, it sucks. He said, you getting laid? I said, no. He says, because you can't sell. Guys got it? So when I talk about what skill do you need, when the shit hits the fan, you better start selling. So I went to work for Xerox in 1974 so I could learn how to sell. It took me 4 years. Then I was number 1. Okay? And today I'm a best-selling author. Most PhDs tell me I can't write. Yes, I said I can't write, but I can sell. If you can't sell, you don't make money, period. End of statement. Just because you have a product doesn't mean jack shit. But the important thing is you start. I don't care what product you start with, but you start. I started off with nylon wallets. Success wiped me out. We couldn't sell, all of a sudden it took off. Then I couldn't finance because the sales kept going through the roof. Now, trouble is I kept borrowing and I couldn't sustain the sales. Next lesson. But that's how we learn. Okay?
your first customer is the most difficult thing you'll ever do as a business person, in my experience. To find someone who will actually pay you that first time.
That isn't your mum.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's right. That isn't a family member. That's an actual customer.
Yeah.
And the other problem that people face when they're trying to sell a new product is one of the ways that people decide whether they're going to buy something is whether or not A, they know anyone else who's already bought it, or B, if there's other people in their domain that are already using it. And if your sales pitch is, well, no, this is new and revolutionary, you think, well, that's a wonderful sales pitch. It is like it is if you're talking to someone who's entrepreneurial and risk-taking and interested in revolutionary ideas. But if you're talking to a middle manager in a company, the last thing that person wants to hear is, well, you could be a risk taker and introduce this into your company. The person's thinking, I don't want to put my job or reputation on the line for your product, even if it is revolutionary, in part because if it succeeds, I probably won't be rewarded for its success. So when we were selling our employee selection software, for example, we were academics, and so there was lots of things we didn't know about business. And one of the things we ran into, which was so funny, we talked to the people who were doing the hiring, and they had a certain budget, which was usually lower than, because they had virtually no budget for hiring, weirdly enough. So what we were charging for the product, which was still extremely modest, exceeded their budget. We said, well, look, you're going to make a 250-fold return on this. Pessimistically, it's 50. Realistically, it's 250, and the upper end was more like 500. So it's a no-brainer to implement this. It's like, well, we're budgeted on the cost side. What do you mean? Well, if we hire more productive employees, we won't be rewarded for that. We'll just be punished for spending more money at the outset. I thought, well, we can't even talk to you because I'm trying to sell you something that will benefit your company, but for you, as the decision maker, there's nothing but risk in implementing the new process. So that just blew me away. It's like, oh, I see. The hiring budget and the productivity budget aren't associated. So that's like a fatal impediment to our sales process.
You know, when our children finished undergraduate school, and they both worked before they went on to graduate school, I told both Kelly and Derek, make 300 cold calls a day and you'll lead the nation in sales or in anything you do. 300 cold calls a day. And that's getting through to somebody, not leaving a message, blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
and they both did. You cannot, even if you're a retard like you guys, if you make 300 legitimate cold calls, you'll make $1 million a year, no problem. And that's not a lot of money. And I say that begrudgingly, but to most people it is. That's 1,500 cold calls a week. That's 6,000 cold calls a month. That's 72,000 cold calls a year. If you can't make $1 million, you ought to kill yourself, metaphorically speaking.
How do you manage the indecisive client?
Good question. I broke down as much as I could. You know how there's like the 6 stages of grief and then like the types of tornadoes? Like I always, when I got into the business, really kind of thought of sales like the 6 stages of selling, like what emotional clients go through. Because they go through their grieving period, like their denial period, their excited period, and you have to walk them through all those steps. And the best salespeople are the ones who can anticipate it, like an ER doctor. Like they know like when this next emotional phase is going to hit, so you can prepare how your conversation is going to lead into that moment, kind of like a psychologist, right? But people who are indecisive are people who are insecure about the decision that they're going to make anyway. Like at the end of the day, a lot of indecisive people we know, they end up making a decision. They're just really self-conscious or insecure about their intelligence or something, and you have to help them get comfortable and figure out how to get there. And a lot of it is just laying out options. So kind of the way I just talked to you about first impressions, and it could have been super boring, but I made it relative by talking about dating in a bar. And then people laugh and they're like, oh, that is kind of the same way. Oh, interesting. Same thing with people who are indecisive. You know, it's figuring out a way to make it relatable to them. And like if you have a client or a boss or somebody, you figure out what they like to do personally. So you track them on social media, let's say, and you figure out that they really like cats. Okay. Or they really like golf, or they're really into the Jets. I don't know, something like that. You try to, without telling them that you internet stalk them, you figure out in your conversation with them how to make whatever the situation is you're talking about relatable to something they really like. Like, this is, I understand you want to take your time, but if Sam Darnold had taken his time, in his first game out, might not have won that first game, huh? And then that guy's going to be like, dude, you're a Jets fan? Like, I mean, sure, yeah, now I am. Oh, crazy. Yeah, anyway, the real reason I don't want to do this is because of X, Y, and Z. Because now it's on a personal level. Now they're thinking about something they really like. Plus you made it relatable. And it's just how you present that information versus that salesperson who just says, can I help you with anything? No. Okay, let me know if you need anything. Great. That's most people.
My friends were graduating from USC, UCLA, and they were getting a $40,000 a year salary after going to school, after spending $150 grand on college. And I'm working at Bally's, and I had made $5,000 in a month. And I said, wait a minute. My friends spent $150,000 to go to college. I don't have a degree, and I just made $5,000 in a month. Maybe the most important skill set to make money in America is sales. And by the way, step number one to creating wealth is learning how to sell. Before you hang the video and change it and go to another video, hear me out and be able to disagree with me and say, Pat, I don't agree with you. Hear me out here. In every single family, there's political matters. Yes? You probably had some political matters. When somebody dies, who's going to get this, who's going to get that? There's always political matters. You know who typically wins? The one who knows how to sell. You know who typically dates and marries that beautiful girl that every guy wanted to be with? The guy that knows how to sell. That's simple. You know, at your job, have you ever had anybody that got a promotion over you that wasn't qualified, but they got it over you? You know why? Because they know how to sell. And you don't know how to sell. And if you don't know how to sell, your salary's at 58, she's at 79. You think it's important you learn how to sell. Maybe it's important learning how to sell.
You see, most salespeople, they always believe in the conventional wisdom. In order to be a great salesperson, what do you have to do? You have to have enthusiasm. You got to be excited about your product. Hey man, this is my product. It's so good. Don't you know we are the best in the world? This would help you. This will help your company. You should buy from me. Enthusiasm. Because they are taught if you are not enthusiastic about your product or service, then the prospect won't be enthusiastic either. Or what I call pretentious bonding. Hey, how are your kids? Yeah, how's the weather? How's work? You don't give a shit. Your prospect doesn't give a shit. But it's pretentious bonding. Or, you gotta follow up, man. Either they buy or they die, right? You follow up 5, 10, 20 times. You gotta be persistent. You gotta keep calling, keep chasing them. Or you gotta ask for the sale 3 times. The average sale prospect, you gotta ask them 7 times before they buy. I don't like to ask for the sale. I want the prospect to give me the sale. It's better to receive than to beg. Or you gotta chase the prospect. You gotta keep pleasing them, chase them. I don't like to chase. I like to be the chase. So how do you become a great salesperson? Today I'm gonna give you one of the most important lessons that I have learned in order to be a great salesperson. And that is, now this might sound counterintuitive. That is, in order to be a great salesperson, you cannot be a salesperson. What? Dan, what are you talking about? I want you to think about in a society, when I say the word sales, what comes to mind? When I say the word salesperson, what comes to mind? Comment below. No filter. Don't think about it, just comment below. Sales or salesperson, what comes to mind? Snake oil, pushy, aggressive, used car salesman, manipulation, right? Just do it for the money, wants your commission, all that stuff, right? Imagine if you have kids. Imagine if you are a parent, mom and dad. Your kid goes home and walks up to you and say, hey, daddy, mommy, when I grow up, I want to be a doctor. And you're like, oh my God, son, I'm so proud of you. I raised you well, it's good. You'll be a doctor, right? Imagine a different scenario. Your kid comes home and says to you, mommy and daddy, when I grow up, I want to be a salesman. And you're like, oh my God, what did I do? This is how I raised you? Oh, I failed as a parent. What did I do, right? Just think about that. So it's perfectly okay to get into student loan, to spend 6-8 years in medical school, right? To pick a highly stressed out profession. Don't get me wrong, I have a lot of respect for doctors. But somehow when your kid comes home and say, I want to be a salesperson, and it is such a profession they're being looked down upon. That is a profession that is like, no, that is not a real job. That's not a real career. When in fact, some of the highest paid people in our society, guess what? They're salespeople. Warren Buffett is a salesperson. Elon Musk is a salesperson. When Elon Musk is announcing the new Tesla, guess what? He is closing. He's a closer. He's selling. Right? When Warren Buffett at the shareholder meeting talks about the vision, talk about what they're going to do, talk about the report, talk about the earnings, guess what? He is selling, so you invest in the stock. Remember Steve Jobs when he was announcing the new iPhone, the new iPod in front of thousands and thousands of people live and worldwide? The whole world is watching. Guess what? He is closing. That is a sales presentation. It's not a product announcement. It's a sales presentation. They are all closers. They're all salespeople. So how do you become a great salesperson? Don't sound and act and talk like a typical salesperson. If a typical salesperson is like, hey, how are you, sir? Don't do that. Be calm. Be neutral. Sound like a doctor. Imagine that you are a doctor. Can you imagine you go to a doctor and your doctor says to you, how are you? So glad you could come in. How are you feeling? You have a fever? Hey, no worry, man. You know what? I can do a prescription. In fact, this prescription, you buy one, you get one free, man. It's so good. You want me to follow with you? If you see a doctor and the doctor sounds like that, what do? You run. There's something wrong with this guy, right? Be the doctor. Calm, neutral. Don't chase. Be the chase. Be a problem solver. Ask questions, discover their needs, be a professional. Tell me a little bit about your situation. Tell me about your business. Let's bottom line this. Tell me how you and I can do business today. What were you hoping to get from me today? See, that's a professional. That's how you should behave and talk. Your tonality. You speak with conviction and authority, yet you're not attached to a sale. It's okay if you don't get the sale. See, when you're not desperate, now the prospect, they open up to you. Now they want to hear, okay, this person wants to help me, not just going after the money or that commission check or that quick buck. That this person is a professional, that you are a professional. That's how you sell your way through life. That's how you get what you want in life, by first helping others to get what they want. Then you can get everything that you want. It is that simple.
First thing you got to get right if you want to be in the sales game today is you got to get your freaking financial literacy right. You got to get your money financial mindset right. You got to start thinking about taking your finances from the level you are to the level where you and your family deserve to be. Now, you know this is true. Okay, people that are not making enough money simply make sense of why they're not making enough money. Money's not going to make me happy. I'm fine where I am. I'm doing better than people that live in Afghanistan. Okay? Well, none of that makes sense if you have the potential to make more money. If you have a great product, a great company, and you know another call, another strategy, one more little maybe angle, something that you could persist with. If you know that you could be making more money and you aren't, let's get that fixed, okay? And the first thing to becoming a millionaire, a multimillionaire, a hectamillionaire, or a billionaire, and I've spent time with enough billionaires now, is they have made decisions to get their money right, okay? Whether they're going public or selling a product, scaling out, they had to make a decision to get the money, the finance model of their household, their business, their product, or their IPO right? If they want to go to the market and become a public company. So number one, get your money right. It's not about product knowledge first. It's not about sales knowledge first. It's not about sales process first. It's not about the follow-up first or writing the customer up first. It's not even about attitude first. It's about get your financial mental, get your money mental right, okay? Because if you're satisfied, if you're happy where you are financially, why would you sell anything else? Look, let's face it, you're on commission. You get paid to sell things. You get paid to close deals. You get paid to follow up only when it works. Okay, number one, get your money mindset right. You got to know how to practice, okay? So this is what we're going to do. Which one of these three do you want to handle right now?
Let's go with the price too high?
I feel like I'm on The Price is Right. Pick your objection, son.
All right.
Let your people pick the one they're having trouble with.
Yeah.
You give me a price, I'm going to give you the objection.
Okay. So it's going to be, we can get your property service. It's going to be $120 every 3 weeks.
That's ridiculous.
No, I understand. Yeah. So
well, if you understand, then fix the price.
Okay. Listen, I understand. Price too high. I get it. But look, let's do it anyways.
That's just weird, dude. Why would I do it anyway when the price is too high?
Right. Listen, I understand. Help me understand. How's this problem going to solve your problem?
You guys agree? It's a flunk? But dude, he's trying. So what we got to do is keep working with him. It's like Elena going to kick. She's not going to kick very hard the first time. Right? You're shooting a gun, you're working with a gun, you're scared of it, you're terrified of it, you never had a gun in your hand. Who's scared of guns? People that don't have them. Right? Put one in your hand, you play with it. Whoa, dude, that felt good. That felt strong. Yeah. Next thing you got an AR. Oh, right? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, all right.
Hey man, the price is $119 a month. Let me tell you what we do for you before you object to anything.
Okay.
See, I'm controlling the
Right.
thing. I'm going to control this guy. Before you say yes or no, let me tell you what we do for you. I just want to remind you.
Sure. Yeah, I don't have $119 for this.
I understand. Don't expect you to pay $119 if you don't have it. But what you do have is you have mosquitoes.
Right.
And let me tell you the downside of mosquitoes. Let's say he's a commercial enterprise. You got customers come over here, they leave your grocery store, and they get bitten by mosquitoes. Okay, you know what happens now? They don't remember the service. They don't remember your commitment. They remember that's the place I brought my kids that got the Zika. Now, let me just say this about the $119. If you'd like to pay it weekly, it would only be $30 a week. And we take Visa, MasterCard, or maybe we do some kind of barter system with the grocery store. Smile. I'm smiling the whole time. I'm controlling things. I don't let him talk too much, right? Because I know everything that's going to come out of his face right now, he's preparing to object for me. I want to make sure he doesn't do a lot of that. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to take it back to
other than
to
yourself.
boss.
Other than yourself. Oh, see, now what we found out what it was, right? It's the boss. What if your boss says no? What do we do then?
I don't know. I don't know what to do. I mean, if they say no, I guess it's no.
It's going to be no, right?
Right.
Okay. But why did you agree to meet with me today?
Because we got mosquitoes.
You got mosquitoes, man. They ain't checking with the boss.
Right.
They just come in.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Now, let me ask you something. Is the boss a real thing?
No.
Or could you do this?
No. I could probably do it.
See, you guys don't ask hard questions, man. Is the boss a real thing, man? You just putting me off. You just playing me off right now because of the $119? Why don't y'all ask people that?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to take a different one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, I'm calling the guy. Hey, man, I want to come over here. I want to give you an estimate on the Zika protection.
All right.
I'm going to come over. I'm going to show you how to never have another mosquito at your place again.
And so what's this going to cost? I'm not interested. Yeah, I'm not interested. Yeah, I'm not interested.
Okay, now I'm going to do it to you, but I want to know how you're going to handle that, right?
Okay, all right.
Okay.
All right. So,
you call me. It's a cold call.
Yeah, okay,
it's over the phone.
Listen, I'm just trying to call you and, so I can get rid of your mosquitoes.
Oh, that's good, man. That's good. You got to get rid of that. That's how you get rid of mosquitoes, man.
Yeah, listen. What we can do is, it'll cost about $120 for us to get rid of your mosquitoes. So
that's good, man. Send me a proposal.
Send a proposal. Sure. Where do you want me to send it to?
Send it to my office. Just
all right. I'm gonna send it to your office.
You got my address?
Yeah. Matter of fact, let me send it to your office. But let me get your number. Let me text message you.
See, he did the number thing. It'll blow up in his face every time. You already got my number, man. Man. Don't be stupid, man. Grenade went off in his face. Okay, try it again. That was a flop.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not interested. You did a good up to I'm not interested.
No, I understand completely. Listen, let's just go ahead and do it anyways.
Flunk. Yeah. You flunk him right here. Pick it back up to where I just said, hey, look, I don't, send me a proposal is what I said. That's where he got stumped, by the way. You just go back and you pick it up where he flunked. He did good on the first part of the call. He got me to the place where I said, send me a proposal, and passed not interested. Send me a proposal, man.
Okay, let me get that. Let me get your email so I can go ahead and send it to you.
Flunk. Send me a proposal.
I love to send a proposal.
Yeah, gotta keep.
I love to send a proposal. Yeah, let's go ahead and.
Man, that's a great idea, man. By the way, I've already sent one in your email. By the way, how many of you could send somebody an email before the call was even finished and already have it sitting there? Directions, locations, confirmations, a place to text to in case you can't make it. Okay? Give this man a big hand, huh? Come on, give him a big hand.
One thing, let me ask you this.
He likes being up here. He's like,
yeah, no. So
we got to go on the road together.
What if I can go ahead and take care of your mosquitoes for free?
Oh, he's coming up now. He's coming up with some stuff. How many of you come up with good ideas after the deal is done? How important do you think sales is to whoever's listening to whatever they want to do in their career?
The most important, if you ask me. It all starts with sales. No matter what your business is, someone's got to sell someone on something, period. Either you're going to sell them or they're going to sell you. I mean, at the end of the day, sales is everything. At the end of the day, I have a client that's a dentist, right?
Yeah.
One of the brightest, most brilliant dentists on the planet. Has a hugely successful practice. Knows exactly how to drive traffic into his practice. Knows exactly what to do. Builds a VT. It's been going on for about 4.5 years. Obviously he's busy, but finally gets it done.
That he wants to basically teach other dentists how to grow their business.
Absolutely. He wants to teach other dentists how to grow their business and do what he does.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those dentists out there, they're not making much money.
Yeah, right. And they could be.
Oh, they could be if they do exactly what he teaches. He didn't get there because he didn't know sales. He got there because he drove traffic, right? Understood that numbers are what matters. Numbers
got
game.
it. So he drove traffic to his dentistry. He's not doing the same thing with the...
He drove traffic to his dentistry and he trained his treatment coordinators how to close business.
Yeah.
Selling evil? Well, my favorite definition of selling came from my very dear friend, Dan Sullivan, who is brilliant. And he said that selling is getting someone intellectually engaged in a future result that's good for them and getting them to emotionally commit to take action to achieve that result. So if you just look at that definition, it's profound. Getting someone intellectually engaged in a bigger future that's good for them and getting them to emotionally commit to take action to achieve that result. Well, if you take out the word good for them, then selling could be evil. Okay, meaning Martin Luther King got people intellectually engaged in a future result and got them to commit to take action. Mother Teresa did. John F. Kennedy did. Well, so does every salesperson on the planet. So did Hitler. Hitler got people intellectually and emotionally engaged in a future result that murdered people. Wasn't good in that standpoint. But saying that selling is evil is like saying oxygen is evil. Oxygen is bad. The human body, no organism could survive without oxygen. No business can survive. No country can survive. No economy can survive and be free without sales. Sales is the oxygen that makes all of it work. You eliminate salespeople, you've eliminated the entire sales force. Most people learn what it is they know about cars, about financial instruments, about plumbing, about anything more from salespeople than they do from school. It's the salespeople that are incentivized to actually sell a product or service because they might actually make some money or commission that are out there educating people about it. Think about all of the things we know in our life that we learned about because we went to a store and someone told us about it. I mean, if you go to a department store and someone starts explaining how to use a DVD player, I mean, it's not like you're sitting home watching a documentary on, how a DVD player works. I mean, you learn that stuff from salespeople. So not only are salespeople not evil, salespeople are saviors. Marketers are saviors. They are the carriers of messages all over the world. Every significant thing that has ever happened in mankind came because someone was incentivized to sell it.
Partnership is a very, very overused word. In many circumstances, the word partnership means lack of sales. Okay, so since you don't have any revenue, you say, but we have very promising partnerships. In other words, it's total bullshit. Most partnerships are total bullshit. There's only one thing that you care about. It's sales. Remember, this is the most important thing I can tell you tonight. Sales fixes everything. Okay? No bullshit partnership, nothing strategic. You're either selling or you're not selling. Partnerships are bullshit. If you want to apply a more sophisticated test to a partnership, when you form a partnership, did you boot Excel and either lower costs or increase sales? That's it. Because if you form a partnership and it doesn't force you to recalculate your financials, it's total bullshit. Okay? That's the test. It is a spreadsheet test for partnerships. Most partnerships, you announce something, two egomaniac CEOs who don't know anything about the business, go to a press conference, you announce this great thing, and then nothing happens. The middles and the bottoms of your organization can't stand each other, nothing happens. Okay, so use the spreadsheet test. Don't form partnership. Instead, focus on sales. Focus on sales. I swear to you that most entrepreneurs use the P word in order to blow smoke because they cannot use the S word, sales. The ideal number of times you use the word partnership in a presentation is 1. Like, just say it once. You have 1 partnership. But if you start spitting it out like it's the key strategic strength for your company, oh my God, you are in deep trouble. Okay, but generally speaking, unless it changes your spreadsheet, partnerships are bullshit.
Now I've got a special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy, but before that, it's time for the best Life 30 questions of the day. It's not enough.